My name is Carl Johnson. I am a paranormal investigator, have been so for 40 plus years. I specialize as a demonologist, and that means I address some of the more malevolent seeming situations that are brought to my attention.
All right, so basically paranormal investigators call you in
when things get a little hairy and there's something unearthly, otherworldly, and they don't want to deal with it, and then they call me.
All right, so it's a safe assumption that's why you're here tonight, because we're dealing with something that most paranormal investigators don't really have a chance to come across as far as cases, wouldn't you say?
Right, this isn't a ghost hunt, not a typical paranormal investigation. We're looking for something very anomalous, otherworldly. We don't really know what it is. It seems to be a physical creature,
Okay.
but there's something so different about it that I've been called in.
All right. Now, in your opinion, what do you think it is that we're going to be dealing with?
A werewolf, because in a photograph that was submitted to our team, it resembles a canine, but it's standing on its hind legs. It has shoulders, pendulous breast. It has human and wolf-like attributes. Doesn't look like anything in the zoological books. It looks like what you would think of as a werewolf. Pointed ears, elongated snout.
Okay. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you, like we were just talking about earlier, looking at that picture,
Right.
I mean, that was like somebody with a flip phone taking a picture. And I understand, things like that happen in the spur of the moment, take that picture. I wasn't seeing anything, but as soon as they brought your name up, I'm like, hey, I know Carl, we've worked with Carl before, and you've had your own experience?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the photograph is amorphous. You can read a lot into it. When it's highlighted, you do see something, and I think that's the nature of cryptids. They just don't photograph well. They're always kind of blurry and indistinct.
Yeah.
But we went out in the field. Because of the 13 purported eyewitnesses, we thought it warranted a field investigation. We went out to the area where this animal, this thing has been glimpsed. About 15 minutes into our investigation, I and the team from Rhode Island Paranormal saw what we could describe as eye shine. I grew up in a country setting, so you got these two silvery eyes looking at us. First I thought raccoon. No, can't be, because it's, the eyes are too far apart. We're getting close to it. It seemed to be darting about this thicket of woods next to the river. It was like it was playing hide and seek with us, but we know we were seeing something physical. This wasn't fireflies. Two eyes looking at us. One of our team members took a photograph, enlarged it, and what we see are two canine eyes, amber-colored, slit pupil in one of them, so they were definitely eyes. And we heard this thing crunching, heard a low growl. It was darting around different areas of this expansive thicket. Like, what was it doing? Playing hide and seek with us? We sensed an intelligence. I and several members of the team sensed that something was looking back at us and aware of us. Now, that's very subjective as an experience. However, we heard it, we saw it. We don't know what we saw. Some kind of animal, that's all I can say. It didn't seem like a ghost, an apparition. It was there. It was solid.
A physical being.
Yes.
Now, you said did you sense like you were in danger at any point?
No, because we didn't get all that close. It was approaching us, so it didn't seem like it was retreating.
Okay.
It was a little nerve-wracking at times, a little unsettling, because suppose this thing keeps approaching. But more than that, we had the curiosity factor. We wanted to see something, experience what this was. So the closer we got, the more we paid attention to it. And yeah, we did feel like we were a little threatened, because this is something unknown. And something tall, probably something on two legs, judging from the height.
Okay.
And we could make out a shadowy form. And this can be corroborated by a few of the team members that were there that night. Mandy can tell you we saw a form moving about, very dark form, but it was something solid, it's physical, it's out there, And I started to walk towards it at a certain point, and that's when it was suddenly over in another space. How it moved over, like, 10, 12 yards, I don't know, with that speed.
Just that fast.
Yeah, so we were dealing with something, we had something. It's interesting enough that we're going back out there this evening.
It's going to make for an interesting evening.
I'll be happy if we get similar results tonight, because I wasn't anticipating anything happening. A werewolf hunt, what's going to come up. And there we had something out there, and that's probably what it's going to remain something unknown.